What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Eric, and we're talking about episode 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Actually, we're halfway through this series now. There's only 6 episodes, and I thought episode 1 was decent. Okay, set the stage. I give it a 7.5. Episode 2, didn't like a lot of the acting. I didn't like the feel of it. I liked some aspects of it. Gave it a 5 out of 10. Episode 3, I don't know what to think anymore because there's a lot. I have a lot of problems, but I also can't deny there is some cool moments. There are some amazing moments in this episode that a lot of Star Wars fans, I'm sure, are freaking out over. So awesome to hear James Earl Jones' voice, and he sounds great. He's 91 years old, still kicking ass as Darth Vader. How fortunate are we that James Earl Jones is not just around, but willing to reprise his role whenever he's asked. And it's amazing. Sounded great. It's so cool to see Darth Vader back. And watching Darth Vader walk through that town, taking people out, was really cool. Obviously, the encounter with Obi-Wan, I'll get into, was really cool. There was a few other really awesome moments throughout. And a couple of cute, funny moments that didn't really bother me. So you'd think I'd be really loving this episode, but really there's an overarching problem that I've noticed throughout this show, and I thought we'd see that change. Obviously, Obi-Wan has been out of the game for a while. He's got some PTSD. He's a little bit damaged. He's having trouble functioning. He didn't even want to do this at first. He had to be talked into doing this, to going to save Leia and all this, what he's doing right now. He doesn't want to use the Force, which sometimes I don't understand. He's actually trying to use the Force because he's trying to get a hold of Qui-Gon Jinn. But at the same time, he's not allowed to use the Force. But I thought we would start to see that badass side of Obi-Wan come around. We are now halfway through this series, and in this episode, I don't think he did anything of value. The dude is just, I don't know if he's babysitting Leia or she's babysitting him. Every single step of the way, she's coming up with all the plans. She's doing all the talking. Even when he tells her, don't say anything, I'll take care of it. No, she ain't. She jumps in quick. He's making all the mistakes. I find it hard to believe that Obi-Wan, that quick after they've established, hey, you're my daughter, I'm your father. They had names. They were calling her Luma. And almost immediately he called her Leia. And didn't even realize he made the mistake until the stormtrooper pointed it out. Of course, she was like, you screwed up, dumbass. And he's made every mistake, and she has been leading the way the entire time. And every time he needs rescuing, someone else has to come along and rescue him. He has been almost useless, other than a couple of cool scenes where he's used some hand-to-hand combat. I've enjoyed those. We haven't really seen him use the Force. That one time when he saved Leia was a pretty cool moment. But we haven't seen it yet. So, I'm hoping. Let's go. Episode 4, we need to see Obi-Wan. Or is Disney just trying to turn this into another Luke with the, alien titty milk again? Okay? Last Jedi flashbacks around here, okay? What's next? What are they going to have this guy do? I already know Disney and their agenda. I already understand that they are super liberal. They're all about pushing, female empowerment and all that. We know this. This is not a surprise. Not that I or anyone else, I'm sure some people do, but most fans do not care about strong female characters. We actually are fine with it and encourage it. It's great. But what we don't like is you taking down the legacy characters and turning them into just sorry pieces of garbage. Just useless, pathetic characters that are some of our favorite heroes, like what they did to Luke and even to Han to a certain extent. So I keep waiting, and it's just not happening with Obi-Wan. And obviously they are making, and I talked about it last time, look, Leia, the actress, I thought she did better in this episode. I thought there was a really cute and funny moment when she almost made a mistake, but she corrected herself really quickly. And that is when she said, this is my friend, my father. This is my father. It was funny. Okay, I'll give her that. It was cute, and she did a good job. In this episode, she was a lot better. Reva was a lot better in this episode. In fact, this episode, I thought her counterpart was terrible. The fifth brother, I thought his acting, his line delivery was really noticeably bad in this episode. But I do like the dynamic between them two because it's kind of happens. We see it, we know this would probably happen in a situation like this where they're both trying to impress the boss, who would be Darth Vader. They're kind of arguing over with it. At one point, she says, "I'll inform Lord Vader." He's like, he already knows. I let him know. So there are some decent storylines going on and some, cool moments. But just this is the story. I thought this was going to be about Obi-Wan protecting Luke Skywalker, and something is going to happen where he has to get involved. Something that at least makes sense within the continuity. I didn't even know little Leia was going to be involved. I think it's cool that she has a role, but you're ruining continuity by making them hang out this much. What's wrong? Why doesn't Leia remember this? It makes no sense. And why is she one-upping Obi-Wan every step of the way? Why is Obi-Wan so pathetic and useless? Is it because of the PTSD? That's why he can't function at all? I got PTSD. I've been to the war. I get nightmares all the time. I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I can at least function. I mean, people with PTSD, unless it's really, really bad, maybe he has it really, really bad, I guess, but can still function. Not just a complete idiot. How is he supposed to protect Luke if he's so jacked up this whole time? He seemed pretty sharp in A New Hope when he's an old man. Seems completely different. I don't know what they're going to do over the next 3 episodes, but they better do something. There was a really awesome moment when the stormtrooper fell and got split in half by those little kind of lightsaber little rays or whatever was going on. I don't know what what I'm talking about. Anyway, he falls and gets split in half. That was badass. But aside from that, I got to talk about, of course, the meeting again with Vader. Now, this is, of course, flashbacks to episode 4. It was almost the same. And I had the sense in episode 4 that they had not met since episode 3. Since Darth Vader turned to the dark side, Anakin. Because he even said, "The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master." So he's saying he's a learner in this episode. He doesn't look like no learner. He's pretty badass. He's pretty sharp. He's pretty, advanced already in this stage, in this show that we're watching. So why would he say that? It makes more sense to say I was but a learner back when he first was actually defeated by Obi-Wan and became Darth Vader. It didn't feel like they were to meet again. I love to see Vader, and I think it's cool, but I think Disney, they don't care about continuity. They just care about throwing some cool stuff for fans who aren't going to really think too deep into it, and they want to push their agendas a little bit, which we've always known as, I believe that to be absolute fact, that they put over, their concentration is too focused on that instead of good storytelling and making sense and treating characters with some respect. And we'll see over the next 3 episodes, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. And I don't like the writing for Princess Leia, for little Leia. I think, and just having her be she's basically the alpha female in this relationship right here. She's taking control every step of the way. She is 10 years old. Nothing new when she's a female. I'll say the same thing as a little 10-year-old boy. Well, what's going on? This is a child, a very young child. I know she's very smart. I'm not saying she can't do anything helpful. I'm not saying that at all. But she is absolutely leading the way. And Obi-Wan is, he's just screwing up every step of the way. So other than, cool moments, seeing Darth Vader, hearing the performance by James Earl Jones, the voice is back. That is really cool to see and to hear. And I give more credit to James Earl Jones for that rather than, Disney for their script. I didn't even think that Vader was that great. It was cool when he set that fire. That was badass. But then, of course, the lady spy who's helping Obi-Wan out, she comes and saves the day. I don't know if she put out the fire or what happened, but the fire suddenly went out. I'm not really sure, but I know Darth Vader just kind of quit there. He's like, well, I guess I'm screwed. And it just kind of looked kind of awkward. Vader overall was good, but there was just a couple of moments where it didn't feel quite right, and I can't really put my finger on it, so that's all I'm going to say about that. But the overall, this was an enjoyable episode, but annoying at times. Went over and over and over. We already know Obi-Wan's going to get himself into trouble, and someone's going to come save him. Usually it's going to be a female because it's Disney. I'm not saying I have a problem with that per se, but we know exactly what's going on when it happens. We know what's going on and what's going to happen. And I got a feeling Reva's going to have a bit of an arc here. I've said that earlier. I could be wrong on that. She might end up being good by the end of this and saving the day and, doing something, taken down, who knows, she obviously can't take down Darth Vader, but she already took down the Grand Inquisitor. I don't believe that's what's supposed to happen. Grand Inquisitors should be the awesome villain in this series. You didn't necessarily have to bring back Vader, except maybe for a little cameo, but just coolness over continuity. Trying to show something cool and trying to push their agenda is the key. Continuity, giving us good Star Wars that makes sense within the story, and respecting the legacy characters and respecting their abilities, that's out. It's pretty much out. To the point that when Obi-Wan first saw Darth Vader, he ran away like a little bitch. I mean, he didn't even show, he thought about grabbing his lightsaber. Nah, fuck this. Ran off! I'm not saying this whole series is going to suck. They still have time to turn it around, but you better do it quick. I like this episode a little more than episode 2, the second episode, only because there were so many cool moments, and I just enjoyed a lot of what I saw, but I don't like what they're doing with Obi-Wan. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe you'll disagree, but I get it. PTSD, I get it. Damaged, I get it, but you only got 6 episodes. Why make an Obi-Wan Kenobi series if you're just going to make him a complete joke? And little Leia's going to be the one taking on Leia? He's not even supposed to be with Leia. He's not even supposed to be with her. He's supposed to be, where's Luke? Is Luke not, all we're going to see is Luke is his little driving his thing. That's it? Like F Luke here? I thought he was going to take care of Luke and something was going to, we're going to see some of that relationship with him and Uncle Owen. I'm not saying, oh, you just want to see that because you want to see the boy instead of the girl. What? I want to see what makes sense in the story. That's all. I'd love to see a story about Leia, little Leia, and her upbringing over there with her family. And something that's happening over there in that neck of the woods. That's separate. They're not supposed to meet up and all this comes together until episode 4 when Luke goes to save Leia. That's when they come back together and those two families, or they're the same family, but you know what I mean. The Organas and the Skywalkers, start to clash again. And all the truth comes out in that original series, in that original trilogy. So anyway, I'm done. Guys, I'll give this one a 6 out of 10. Just for the cool moments and a few awesome moments, but overall I'm not really enjoying it as much as I hoped I would after that first episode. Let me know what you think. I know you guys are going to disagree a lot, but hey, we'll have a discussion down below. I really appreciate your support. It means a lot. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.